Most people say that the need to protect your young ones and wanting to produce more of it is one of the greatest desires for a man. I completely disagree with that because the need for status and power, the desire for status and power is the strongest desire for a man. And the reason why we want to protect our young children and want to create more of them is because we want them to resemble us, to take on our bloodline, to take on the status and power that we have already built in our legacy. That is also connected to the desire of status and power. Like the kings who had multiple sons, and those sons took over the empire and they made the empire into a bigger and greater one. Wasn't that because wouldn't the king be proud that his sons did it? Wouldn't his king be satisfied in his desire for power and status just because his sons achieved it? Do you get what I mean? But most of the people would disagree with what I'm saying, and they would go on to the other part that says, well, those who understand the Matrix, some of them would say things like, well, if the Matrix is a complete lie, the society is a complete lie, why would I want to work or chase towards something that leads to nothing? Well, I clearly understand that the society is built on lies, and it's not built yesterday. It wasn't built yesterday, the day before yesterday. It's always been that way. Do you understand? The Matrix has always existed in our society, and it will continue to do so. But when you see the escape Matrix stuff, people are just portraying you materials, and that will not make you escape the Matrix. The only thing that will escape the Matrix is when you absolutely have utter freedom. And for that, you need status and power. But without that, you just don't escape the Matrix. It's not that possible. And every man inside of him has that desire for status and power. And we will continue to do so because it is our innate characteristics. We have been designed that way by God to have status and power, to go through this game of life, to wanting to be the best. And think about this. If you want to be better than other men, the society says that you are arrogant. How many times have you heard this? Like when you say that I want to beat him, someone nearby you says that, oh, you're just being too arrogant, you should do it for yourself, and you shouldn't be out there trying to compete with others. No, I completely disagree with that too. Like we as men, we don't benefit a lot from living for ourselves. We as men actually benefit a lot from living for something above us. Like it's living for our duty, for our purpose. That's what we as men benefit a lot from. The men in the military, they have a duty to protect their country, something above them. The men in the warhouse have a duty, something above them. We have a purpose. The same way, that's how real men have actually operated. But nowadays, those soy boy men, what are they doing now? I don't even call them men, they just call them soy boys, right? Those soy boys, what is their mindset like? The weaker men. Their mindset is like, yeah, I just work for myself. I just go to the gym and exercise very, very hard for myself and not for nothing else. No. I train every day, and everyone in the warhouse trains every day for a specific reason above than ourselves. Right? We work hard on ourselves because we want something else above us to be better. Like what is one of the most masculine things that a man can do? Lead a family. And when a man leads a family, he has to completely stop working for himself. Like he has to give all of his energy into his family for him to be the best family man ever. Same with other goals too. If you want to be the UFC champion, you have to put all your energy into being the UFC champion, which is something more than yourself. But understand this. Every desire that you have is connected to your desire for status and power. And it will be connected. Name one desire that you have. You want to have a big house, a nice car, fine clothes. Well, the modern world says that it's bad to have these desires, but I completely disagree with that too. I believe that you should have these desires. Because Desire is the foundation of society. Everything that men have created around the world is created based on desire. That's why I don't like the idea of Buddhism. I might as well make another video on the topic of desire. And coming back to status and power, you should not stop working towards status and power, because I see a lot of boys my age not even caring a bit about status and power, not in the status and power of miniature groups. I hope you understand what I mean. Like, not wanting the status and power even in their friend group. Like, me and my friends, we are actually competing against each other very, very hard. It's like, if you do 20 squats, I will be doing 25. And my other friend, he'll be like, if you do 25, I'll be doing 50. And we are out there, we are competing against each other like men. But we are not out there grabbing our collars, fighting at each other. We are actually competing like real men do. And you're supposed to have that competition inside of you. You're supposed to have that desire that says, I want to be better than other men. And that's one of the base concepts of power and status. Power and status really means you have to be better than someone else. Well, you shouldn't compare yourself with others, right? Well, no. You should compare yourself. Well, if you shouldn't compare yourself with others, why was comparison invented in the first place? Comparison was completely invented to find the difference between two things so that the better thing stays the better thing and the thing which is not better can be made into the better thing. Hope you understand what I mean. So if you don't compare yourself with people who are your age, if you currently do in our times, if you compare yourself with people in your class, maybe in your neighborhood, I guarantee that you might think to yourself that you are the man. But in reality, if you compare yourself with men around the world, like the great achievers, you know to yourself that you are nothing. Yeah. Like if I compare myself to people in my class, I will be saying to myself, yeah, I'm the man. But when I start the comparison of myself with men like David Goggins, men like Hamza Ahmed, the modern men, those men will definitely beat me. I'll be like smushed. Khabib will definitely crush me in a fight. I know that. Right? Like Brock Lesnar and John Cena would pick me up and down. They would just smash me down. That happens. And I still have the desire to be better. I'm not demoralized by the fact that I will lose now. Yeah, I will lose now. But over years, if I completely genuinely dedicate all my energy and all my focus into being a better man, into being stronger, into being faster, into being a better of a fighter, I might win. The hope. Hope is one of also a great things a man must have, because without hope, you will be used. Right? Because if the freedom fighters of India didn't have the hope that one day India will have freedom, we would still be slaves to the British. We would still be. If those freedom fighters lacked hope, they could not have achieved freedom in India. And when you want to achieve freedom against the matrix, you have no hope on yourself. And the reason why you have no hope on yourself is because you are completely neglecting and rejecting yourself. Because the modern world says that you should not be overthrown by your desires. You work on your desires, brother. You work based on your desires. That's it. When I was a kid, almost every elder kept asking me that, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I just completely answered to every single one of them, I want to be a police officer. And now it has changed. Right? And when I was in 6th grade, people kept asking me the same question, and I told them that I want to be a robotics engineer. And the inspiration why I want to be a robotics engineer came from Iron Man, fantasy. Right? So that I learned that is fantasy. I'm just gonna not pursue that. Because, I don't believe that aliens are going to come into Earth and try to kill humans. And my current desire is one thing I've fixed myself and my life into it, because the old desires that I had never gave meaning to my life. And the current desires that I currently uphold upon give life a meaning. Like it gives everything I have to life. Think about this. Every man, every woman, every person on the planet works based on desires. Well, Buddha says that if you, desire is the cause of the root cause of all your problems. Well, what kind of life if it would be if I don't have problems? What kind of life would it even be interesting and enjoyable if I don't have problems? Like, what kind of life would I live? What kind of enjoyment would there be if just life went like this? Like a flat, dead heartbeat. Nothing. So of course there are supposed to be problems in life as a man. And matter of fact, Buddha wanting to, what did he do? Buddha wanting to live a life free from problems is in and out of itself a desire. And how dumb are you to not realize that? That is a desire. Buddha wanted to live a life that has no problems. Right? He wanted to live a life out of suffering. And that is a desire. Of course it is. And in fact, if you ask me, do I personally like Buddha or not? My answer would be very specific, and those with a very smart mind can understand what I mean. The concept of Buddhism, I do not like it. But Buddha as a man of purpose, I like him. So that's my take on Buddhism. So if you completely keep suppressing your desire for power and status, which almost all of your other desires are connected to, then here's what happens. You keep neglecting yourself, and a smart man who actually understand this, like men like me, we will defeat you. It's not like a you versus me competition. I'm just trying to make you understand that the world is very competitive to men. And if you don't thrive in this competitive environment, you will be forgotten. And you will be disrespected. You will not be treated the proper way. Not because people do it on purpose. It's because they do it because that's what you deserve. That's it. So your desire for status and power is one of the strongest desires you have. Every desire that you have, everything else is connected to that. The desire for protecting your young ones, making more of it, the desire for money, the desire for health, the desire for wealth, all of it is connected to your desire for status and power. And I believe as a man, it is your moral duty to understand that and to work on that. Yeah. Every businessman, every corporate leader that you might be thinking of, they all work on that. But most men, they don't have the integrity to accept it. I will say that I work for power and status. A lot of things I do are for power and status. We want to hold power over the world as a man. We want to show that we are dominant as a man. That is a very innate desire for a man, and that will always be in ourselves. And those who actually use that desire for themselves, actually use that desire, tend to have a greater life. But those who try to suppress it and be submissive to themselves, they're no problem for me, I'll just be a submissive loser. Yeah, you stay a submissive loser while men like us, we win through the world. That will happen. If you don't make yourself the most dangerous, the most capable man in today's world, you will be overthrown by your competition. People say that, you have no competition in today's world. Yeah, almost everyone I know is a loser. Almost. My age people. Almost everyone I know is a loser. But if you keep comparing yourself with losers to a herd of sheep, you can now be a lion. You can only be a lion if you compare yourself with lions, with kings, with the most greatest men in history. So stop comparing yourself with losers and start comparing yourself with winners, and you'll know to yourself that you have achieved almost nothing in your life, and your desire for status and power will, matter of fact, increase a lot, and over years you will end up achieving more. Yeah, make sure you fulfill your duty and be the best version of yourself.